in a move that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of Western power and ignited a fire of pride in the hearts of Africans everywhere. Namibia's freshly minted president, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, has thrown down the gauntlet. With the fearlessness of Burkina Faso's revolutionary lion, Captain Ibrahim Traore, this trailblazing woman, Namibia's first female leader, has declared that starting April 3rd, 2025, US citizens will no longer waltz into her nation without a visa. Yes, you heard that right. The days of Western privilege on African soil are numbered, and Nandi-Ndaitwah is leading the charge with a boldness that echoes the thunder of our ancestors. This is no timid policy tweak. This is a seismic shift, a roaring proclamation of sovereignty that reverberates from the dunes of the Namib Desert to the shores of the Atlantic. For decades, Namibia has flung its doors wide open to tourists from the United States and other Western nations, welcoming them with open arms and visa-free entry for up to 90 days. It was a gesture of goodwill, a strategy to bolster tourism, a lifeline for Namibia's economy, and a nod to the global image of a hospitable Africa. But no more. President Nandi-Ndaitwah, barely a week into her historic tenure, has turned the tables with a policy rooted in the sacred principle of reciprocity. If Namibians must jump through hoops, endure humiliating visa interviews, and shell out exorbitant fees to visit the United States, then by the gods of justice, Americans will now taste the same medicine when they set foot in Namibia. Let's be clear, this is not just about visas. This is about dignity. This is about a proud African nation standing tall and saying, enough is enough. For too long, Western nations, cloaked in their arrogance and fortified by their colonial legacies, have treated Africa as their playground, a continent to exploit, dictate to, and condescend toward. They've imposed harsh visa regimes on our people, forcing us to grovel at their embassies to prove our worth, to beg for entry into their lands as if we're lesser beings. Meanwhile, their citizens have strolled into our countries with impunity, their passports a golden ticket to unrestricted access. But Nandi-Ndaitwah, like Captain Ibrahim Traore before her, has ripped up that script and tossed it into the flames of revolution. She's not here to play nice with the West. She's here to demand respect. If you've been watching Burkina Faso's young firebrand, Captain Ibrahim Traore, you'll see the parallels. Traore, the 37-year-old military leader who seized power in 2022, has become a symbol of African defiance, a David slaying the Goliath of Western imperialism with unwavering resolve. He's expelled French troops, cut ties with neo-colonial puppet strings, and dared the West to reckon with a Burkina Faso that bows to no one. His courage has inspired a generation, proving that Africa's youth, and now its women, can stand toe-to-toe with the so-called global powers and not blink. Nandi-Ndaitwah, at 72, brings a different flavour of that same audacity. She's no stranger to struggle. She cut her teeth as a freedom fighter with SWAPO, battling apartheid South Africa's chokehold on Namibia when she was just a teenager. She's faced exile, detention, and the weight of a male-dominated political arena, rising through the ranks to become a titan in her own right. And now, as president, she's channeling that warrior spirit into a policy that screams, Africa will no longer be your doormat. Like Traore, she's unafraid to ruffle feathers, to stare down the United States, a nation that sees itself as the arbiter of global rules, and say, if you demand visas from us, we'll demand them from you. Fair is fair. The West, predictably, is clutching its pearls. Whispers of economic sabotage and tourism decline are already floating from their think tanks and media outlets. They'll tell you Namibia's $90 visa on arrival fee, peanuts compared to what Africans pay for US visas, will scare off American tourists, denting the nation's GDP. But let's not be fooled by their crocodile tears. This isn't about economics, it's about power. They're rattled because an African woman, a black woman, has dared to challenge their entitlement. They're shaken because Nandi-Ndaitwah's move exposes the hypocrisy of their rules-based order, a system that only seems to apply when it benefits them. To understand the magnitude of this moment, we must confront a painful truth. For far too long, African nations have bent over backwards to appease the West. Our leaders, many of them groomed in colonial classrooms or seduced by Western aid, have internalized a subservience that's kept us on our knees. When it comes to visa policies, the imbalance is glaring. Take the United States, for instance. A Namibian citizen seeking to visit must navigate a labyrinth of requirements, a non-refundable $185 application fee, a fortune for most, a grueling interview at the US Embassy, bank statements, proof of ties to Namibia, and a wait time that can stretch months, all with no guarantee of approval. Rejection rates are sky high, and the process is designed to humiliate, to remind us of our place in their world. Contrast that with the American experience in Namibia until now. They'd land at